Happy Friday! Welcome along to the latest episode of the Laura and Becky Show. We are basically here doing this podcast because we were on the radio. We're not anymore because we lost our jobs. We flew off to Mallorca. We got very drunk and Laura wore a I Heart Mallorca t-shirt for the whole weekend. Great times.
I love that t-shirt.
We need to bring that back this summer.
We do.
Our OGs will remember that. And then whilst we were there, we decided to start this podcast.
We are now sponsored by East Midlands Airport, Casa Hotel Group and Redbrik Estate Agents. Can I start this pod off by telling you an awful story?
Oh no, it's a Friday. It's a bank holiday,
Friday, everyone.
Weekend.
Well, I mean, it's not an awful story for anyone else but me. But
Okay,
you will feel my pain with this. So last night, took the dog out for a walk, quite a late walk actually, about 8:45. Got back.
8:45?
It was about 8:45, yeah, by the time I got out.
Love, I was in bed. I was snuggled up in bed.
Oh my God. Anyway, so I got back in and I thought, whilst I've got my car on, I'll go and put the chickens away. My chickens. The loves of my life, my chickens. So they're very quiet, my chickens, but I started walking down the garden. I could hear a lot of clucking and flapping is what I could hear.
Right.
I got nearer. I could see my grey chicken Beyonce. She was having a meltdown. And then all I could see were loads of white feathers. And I thought, oh my God, this is it.
Who's the white feathered one?
That's Chick-fil-A. I thought, that's it. She's gone. I've lost her. And I thought, what do I do? Because I don't want to see it. I thought, there's obviously a cat in there and it's eating her. And Beyonce and Hey Hey are having a meltdown.
Oh my God.
There were feathers everywhere. So I was like, oh no. So I was talking to Beyonce. I was like, it's okay. What's happened? I walk around the chicken coop to the bit where they like walk around outside. And all I could see was a pigeon, a big pigeon, shitting itself, because obviously a pigeon has flown into the coop and they've started attacking it. There was a bird fight.
Oh, they were the culprits.
Oh,
the chickens were the culprits.
I think Beyonce was having it with a pigeon.
Oh, God.
This pigeon, literally, you know when you send a naughty child to the corner and you're like, face the wall.
The naughty step.
Literally, this pigeon was in the corner just facing, like, obviously thinking, don't move a muscle. Yeah. And it was all the pigeons. This pigeon was big, though. You know, wood pigeons are like nowadays, they're enormous. So I was like, what are we doing here, guys? Let's just all calm down.
Yeah.
I was like, you're all birds. You're the same species. Just talk it out.
God. And were they like pecking the pigeon?
There had been, because the pigeon had a bold spot. The pigeon is obviously flapping about. The chickens were like, this is our spot. And all kicked off.
Yeah.
I obviously got there in the aftermath where Beyonce was just like freaking out.
Yeah.
The white one that I thought was dead was fine. She was just walking about.
God.
Yeah.
I thought you wouldn't have come in to do this pod
I wouldn't.
today.
I'd have been.
What's it called again? Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A,
sorry. If Chick-fil-A had been a goner, you wouldn't have made it in to do this pod.
So I love my chickens. I can hold my chickens. I'm a bit funny about flappy birds. They're like pigeons. I was a bit like, I wouldn't want to touch a pigeon.
Pigeons are riddled as well, I think, aren't they?
God.
With stuff.
Well, so I called James, and obviously I called James. So I was like, hello, and all he could hear was like, and me going, James, there's a problem. He's like, I'm coming. So he ran down. Oh, you need to get the pigeon out. Get the pigeon out. So I was trying to like get my chickens into a corner.
Yeah.
He tried to get the pigeon, but it started flapping about, and even he was like, oh, hey.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that.
Yeah. No, well, the chickens obviously didn't like this pigeon. This pigeon had like attitude.
Yeah.
Anyway, eventually I managed to, I didn't rake the pigeon out, obviously, because that would be cruel, but I got a rake and was like, get out.
Pushed it in the right direction.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it flew up, and then James started feeding it corn. I was like, don't feed the pigeon corn.
It'll come back.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, I'd like to end this story by saying the chickens are all fine.
What about the pigeon, though, Laura?
I don't know, the pigeon probably flew off.
Okay. With a bowl patch. But it was alive.
Yeah. He's going to go back and be like, Jesus Christ, Mum, did I fight with a chicken? Did I fight Beyonce?
You're grounded. Yeah. You're not going out there again.
I tell you what, though, but what I loved is when I walked around the corner, I was like, it's okay, what's going on? They all ran towards me, my chickens.
Oh, as if like, Mum,
like, come
there's
on,
a bit of drama going on.
There's a bloody pigeon and it's massive, yeah. So I was like, but I swear to God, if anything happened to those chickens,
I dread to think what would happen if something happened to those chickens.
I know. But for now, they're safe.
Laura's got wet hair doing this pod. And I mean soaking wet hair.
Oh, God.
Do you want to tell them why?
Right, well, listen, I'm going to say this. Me and you are never really on time. If we arrange something, we'll say, I'll meet you at 1, we'll meet you at 1:15.
Yes.
We know what we mean, don't we?
It's normally, I'd say it's normally the 7 to 8 minutes late, generally speaking.
Anyway, I had a hair appointment this morning at 11, okay? It took ages. I love my hairdresser, but it took ages.
You're in there a while.
So I kind of lost track of time. I was like chatting with her. I kind of in my mind thought most of the time if we're leaving, we're like on our way. Anyway, I got a message from you going, I'm here at 7 minutes past 1. And we said 1-ish, didn't we? So I thought that's fair enough. And then at that moment, my hair was soaking wet and my hairdresser was putting toner on my hair. And I just read it and I went, oh dear. I was like, I'm going to have to go. And she went, you can't. You've got toner on your hair. You can't. I was like, we need to get this toner off. I'm late. I didn't realise. Anyway, she was like, okay, just give me 5 minutes. I was like, right. So I was literally timing it like, shit. Because she was like, it'll be about another half hour. I mean, I ain't got a half hour.
Well, you text me, didn't you? So I was sat outside the studio and you were like, I'm going to be another 20 minutes. I was like, no. Because I didn't have the keys to get in. So I was literally sat outside. I was like, no.
Anyway, she literally washed my hair, put conditioner on it. She got up, she went, there's a towel, threw the towel at me. I chucked my head upside down, dried it. I was like, bye, and just ran. It must have looked like I was doing a runner from the hairdressers, from anyone outside looking in. Yeah. Ran to the car, but I'm here.
She's here
late.
with wet hair, but she's here.
I know. To be fair, I don't actually mind because she was going to blow dry it, but I'm not that fussed today. I'm not going out tonight. I don't need to do anything.
No. What have you had done, by the way?
So I'm going lighter, guys.
Nice, lighter
everyone.
For summer.
No, lighter because I can't stand these grey hairs that are now sprouting out of my head.
I tell you what, I have got some serious grey hairs at the moment. In fact, was it last week? Yeah, when your Grace looked after my Lily because we were going out with the East Midlands airport lot.
Yeah.
And I was sort of in the mirror doing my hair. I could see some grey hairs poking out and sticking up. So I called your Grace upstairs. I went, Grace, come here. I was like, can you notice these grey hairs? I was like, will the East Midlands airport lot notice my grey hairs?
Will Joanne be like, she's gone grey?
Yeah, she's gone grey. And Grace, to be fair, had a right good old look. She was getting my shoulders. She was like turning me around and looking from different angles and looking in the light. And she was like, no, it's fine. But I am so overdue to get my hair done. It is ridiculous. You know, I said to you about recently, I've had like fluffy baby hairs coming up. I think it's the greys. That's what I think it is.
Oh, God. Well, I just, you have to go light, don't you? Most people, that's why most people go light. So I'm going to go light. I'm going to grow, just to let you know, if anyone actually cares. I like my bob from last year. I was looking at our Mallorca photos last night and I was like, I'd like my hair in a short bob. So I'm going to grow it until Christmas. Okay, guys? And then
here's the hair plan.
I'm going to go for the bob next year. And I think that'll be me done.
2024, it's the bob. What do you mean you done?
Well, I just think that'll be it.
With what? With what? Done with what?
That's it. That's it.
Out.
It's done. No, my hair. Because I'm very much like,
but what do you
short,
mean?
long, short, different colour, dark, blonde, extensions out, short, dark.
But what do you mean done? What's going to happen
I'm not going to change it. That's going to be me forever.
But what's going to be the hairstyle that you stick with? So 2024, Laura, is going to be bob.
Although
Laura.
Dee, my hairdresser, I've told her this story. She went, Laura, you'll just buy extensions or you'll get extensions. But you know what? That's me. I like to change my hair up.
It's a roller coaster. Is it going to be a bob? Is it going to be long? You just don't know. Who knows what's going to happen?
I'm glad we cleared that up. Okay.
I was in bed, well, obviously in bed
surprise,
last night.
Surprise.
Do you know what? I really look forward to getting into bed
too.
of an evening. I look at the time and I think, is it too early? I think
6:30?
That's what I think. After dinner, I think, 6:30? Is that too early to go? No. Why
judging?
wait? Yeah, and also, why wait? If you want to go to bed and put the telly on or the electric blanket or whatever, why wait?
There's no need.
Don't
need. Waste time.
So last night, I think I was in bed for... I think it was about 7:30 last night, but properly in bed, you know, makeup off and everything. And I was flicking through Instagram. You know that other inbox that you have on Insta where it's like your secret
request
one? Yeah. So I noticed I had a new one in there. I thought, oh, hello. And it always excites me when there's a new one in there.
Oh my God, I was literally just thinking this yesterday. It's always a good one, isn't it, in request?
Yeah, because you think,
who's this?
Bloody hell's this?
Someone new?
Yeah.
Here we go.
It could be anyone. It could be spam, but it could be something exciting.
And
so
was
I went
it?
in, and it was from Game Show Casting UK.
Oh my days.
Now,
Love Island?
No.
First dates?
No.
Something to do with dating. Please tell me.
I don't think it is. You're gonna die.
No,
when you hear
it's
what
to do
it
with
is.
Willies.
No. So we've been obviously applying for some game shows, haven't we?
Yeah.
I've not heard back from any of them, have we?
I know. What the hell?
I mean, how rude.
I love how when we apply, I literally am like, we're on.
So that's what I think.
We're on.
Well, you only apply thinking you're going to get on.
Yeah.
We've applied for literally not a
Who
sausage back.
Who do they want for these game shows?
I don't know, but I'm livid for one. But anyway, this one popped up, so I was like, oh,
Go on.
hello.
Yeah.
So he said, oh, blah, 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 I hope you're well. We've got this new game show. Can I email you possible details? So I put, yep, sure, put my email in. Anyway, got the details through.
Oh, God.
The show is called The Splat Show. Okay,
Right.
and you lot are thinking it's rude. It's not rude.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
That is disgusting.
Dirty minds.
Dirty.
Let me get the actual email.
I mean, God only knows what that show would involve. The Splat Show?
Yeah.
Christ.
Basically, guys, what it is, it's a show where you get splatted with gunge.
Gunge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not rude, it's with gunge.
Please tell me you're actually going to apply for this.
Absolutely
Well, why
not.
the hell do they think you're good for that?
I wanted to reply and
Here she
go,
is.
why have you found me on Instagram
Because
and
you
looked at my
like-
face and thought she would want to be gunged?
I
She'd
said-
be perfect for it.
Well, not gunged, splatted. They looked at you and they thought, yeah,
She's up for
she
being
likes,
splatted.
yeah.
Well, I got news for you. I don't like being splatted and I'm not going to go on this gunge
Not going
show.
on the Splat Show. Oh, please, just for a laugh, for the pod, please do it. Go on, please. Just apply. Who cares? What's the prize?
I don't want to get splatted.
Oh, go on. We all want to see you splatted. Please.
Will you apply for it with me?
No.
If we do it together, right, then I'm absolutely not doing it either.
Hang on. Let me just see if I've got one. Because I'm actually annoyed that they haven't asked me. Because you never know.
Well, I'll be annoyed if they haven't asked you, because why do they think I want to be splatted and you don't?
I would want to be splatted out of the two of us. I'm all for being splatted. Splat me up. Splat me up.
Oh my God. Quote of the day.
Can we quickly tell this story that we heard yesterday? We had a meeting with a lovely couple, didn't we? And
Yes.
they were very interesting. I love a good story. And it was kind of as we were leaving, they started telling us about where they lived. I think we were talking about houses. I can't quite remember how we got onto it. Anyway, long story short, this couple have got a neighbour who sounds right up my street.
She's a bit of you.
Yeah.
She should be your neighbour.
Well, this woman has got cockerels, but they ain't no ordinary cockerels.
Nope.
They are live-in cockerels. They live in her house.
I believe, do you call it like tame house cockerels?
I believe.
I believe the expression
They're
is
called.
this. Yeah.
They're called tame cockerels.
Yeah, or house cockerels.
House cockerels.
Yeah,
House
they
cocks.
live in the house. So you were literally like beside yourself hearing this. She was literally like clambering over the table to hear more, and you were like, "But where do they poo? Where does the poo go?" And they're like, "Well, I think just in the house."
But they poo. My chickens poo constantly.
Couldn't have that. Chickens in the house, they're pooing all over the house.
Well, apparently it doesn't cock-a-doodle-do. It only cock-a-doodle-doos when the kids come home from school. It waits at the window.
That's actually cute. I like this. It's almost like a dog, isn't it? Waiting for the kids to get home. But
Yeah.
instead, you've got a cockerel at the window
I
being
would.
like, are they coming home yet? And they
How
do the
lovely is that?
cock-a-doodle-doo.
But why doesn't it cock-a-doodle-do when it's supposed to cock-a-doodle-do?
I reckon they've trained it.
Wow. So now we've
Incredible.
got trained. We've got house cockerels.
Yeah.
We've got a trained cat that you saw.
On a lead, yeah.
What's going on?
I don't know. The world's topsy-turvy.
Also, apparently she's quite feral. So I new best mate.
I think you need to go and meet her.
New best
Talk
friend.
about cockerels.
Yes, please.
What's going on? Well,
What's going on?
was that really quick?
What's going on?
I
Not
had
a lot
an
then.
absolute mind blank then. I was
Hang
actually,
on.
what was I going to talk about?
I've got Netflix down.
Right, yeah. So last night when I was in bed, a lot went on when I was in
Again.
bed last night. I was flicking through Netflix as you'd done. I thought, oh, what do I want to watch? Because I've basically finished maths apart from the reunion.
Netflix.
Yeah,
I've basically finished Netflix.
Because I'm in bed at 6:30 every night. I watched the whole of Netflix. So I was sat there because I finished maths apart from the reunion episode, and because you haven't seen
Mate,
it,
I'm in. I started it last night and I'm straight back
Which
in.
bit are you on?
I'm miles behind you.
But which bit?
Dinner party where I still never remember their bloody names. This guy got butt dialed. The girl, she got
butt dialed Dan.
That's
yeah. They heard Dan saying
there.
something.
I'm
Okay,
miles behind.
Well, there's lots of good stuff to happen. I can't wait for you to watch it all. So I finished that. So I was like, what do I watch? And you know, when you're looking for something else to get into, it takes a bit of time to get into something new, doesn't it? Anyway, bish bash boss last night, saw this thing called The Third Longest Date. It was like a one-off little film. So I thought, yeah, I'll get into that whilst I'm putting some... No, hang on, I was in bed.
Don't you lie.
I was going to make up then that I was cleaning the house. No, I was just lying in bed. I wasn't doing any cleaning. I caught myself out on my own lie there. That's what just happened.
Brilliant. Great. I love it.
Anyway, really interesting story, right? So it's about this couple. They met on Hinge. They live in America, right? They had 2 dates, got on sort of quite well. And on their third date, they were both quite sort of out there and a little bit crazy, like doing crazy things. They decided, why don't we, or the guy I think was going to Puerto Rico, he's like, why don't you come and meet me in Puerto Rico for our third date? She was like, all right. So she was going for like a couple of days to meet him. Didn't really tell many people she was going because she thought, oh, like my mum will be a bit like, what are you doing? You're crazy. It's only the third date. So kind of kept it on the low down apart from her best mate, right? So she flew out to meet him. And this guy filmed quite a lot of stuff anyway. So he was filming little bits of him on the plane, like going to meet her, wondering if she was going to turn up or not. Anyway, they met in Puerto Rico. This was just as COVID was kicking off, right?
No.
Yeah. So they got to Puerto Rico. Mate, they couldn't get back because lockdown happened whilst they were on their third date in Puerto Rico.
Well, there's a lesson there.
But it's quite a good lesson,
Go
right?
on.
So he then started filming everything, right? So you see them like...
Wait, so this is a true story?
True story.
Okay, right.
So you see them, kind of what they're doing as COVID hits and obviously everything's shutting down. But obviously they don't really know each other very well. So you see them kind of like develop this relationship, but also find it quite hard being with someone 24/7 who you don't know. Anyway, they were together, I think it was for 3 or 4 months stuck in Puerto Rico.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, where they were staying looked beautiful, like all these lovely places, but obviously they were just together on their own. So it gets to the end where they can finally fly back. I think it's like in the June 2020 or something. And they're getting on really well and things have like developed. I don't know whether to say the end of the...
Oh, I don't know. No, don't.
You know, I won't give it away.
Okay,
but all I
sounds
will
good.
say is it's absolutely worth a watch. But when they're together in Puerto Rico... this guy starts posting stuff on a blog he was writing about their story, and like People magazine pick it up, like all the big papers and online things in America start picking it up. So they suddenly become really well known.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it is the most fascinating story. You have to watch it. Yeah, this weekend, if you're a bit of a loose end, put on The Third Longest Date.
There you go. Talking about being a loose end, my husband's gone away till Monday.
Well, all weekend. You are husbandless.
I got the
Look how happy she is.
I got my bed to myself. I'm going to sprawl out. I'm going to watch all the
Starfish.
crap on TV I want until 2 a.m. in the morning.
Mate, you can get a right load of maths in. That's going to be so good. Oh, also this weekend as well, we are going to the Casa Coronation Brunch on Sunday, which we are so looking forward to. It's going to be a vibe, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the highlight of my weekend.
It's mine, but also something lovely as well. We're going to the Peak Edge Hotel. They've got a champagne breakfast on the Monday. We're going to go there as well.
Yeah, we are going to sample it. It looks brilliant.
Oh my God, it looks divine.
That's the word.
Yeah, who wouldn't want to drink champagne on a Monday morning to celebrate the king being
We would.
crowned?
Yeah.
I mean, do you know what?
Well done, Charles.
It's for you, Charles.
Yeah,
we're doing it
we're
for
doing
you. Yeah, so if you do want to come along, because we're going to be at both of those.
Oh, yeah, do.
Yeah, go online. I think they have got some spots available, but it's selling out quick, is it? So go online, casahotels.co.uk. Why am I speaking so fast?
Because we want to get to the mate, don't we? Because it's Friday, and that means it's Becky's dating dramas. I don't want to get a jingle.
I was just thinking that we should
But
have
is that a bit
little jingle for it.
radio-y? We need something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Guys,
but
we'll have a think and we'll come back to you on that.
So it's Friday, and for season 8, you decided that you're going to start talking about your dating antics. And there are many of them, and they're very, very interesting. Now, we have a special pod at the moment. You have to
subscribe.
What the hell is wrong with me?
I don't know.
Stop. I'm thinking ahead and my voice can't catch up.
I'm speaking really quickly. You can't speak. This is great.
That's why we got fired, guys. Hi. Anyway, there is a special episode that you need to Stop it.
Okay, you need to subscribe to the special episode that only our little ferals can get, basically. So if you want to do that, you can find the link to do it in the description of this podcast, wherever you listen, or on our Instagram pages at Laura Summers Lifestyle, at Becky Hayes UK.
There you go.
Done. Bish, bash, bosh.
Crikey. Okay, so go and listen to that because it's very funny. But we've got a new person today to introduce you to. Oh, actually...
He hasn't got a name. No,
actually
it's because it was just one date, so he didn't have time to get a nickname.
No, that's how fast this was. He has. What should we call him? No name, Nick. Should we call him Nick? No name. No name, Nick.
No, let's not Nick. Let's
name.
That might get a bit confusing.
No name. He has no name.
Let's call him
Nick.
No Name. Yeah, I mean, I can't think of anything else. No Name.
This is an insight into our whenever we try and think of anything, we're like, let's just go with the first thing we think of. Okay. No name.
I mean, a better name might come to us as we tell the story.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Right, we can't give any names either. So
No.
This is going to be a no name story.
It's the story of the no names. So, was chatting to this guy. And we'd actually had a few FaceTimes before. This is like a thing now on when you're like chatting to people you don't know. Some of them want a FaceTime. I've had this quite a few times just to make sure you're not a catfish.
Yeah.
To make sure they fancy you
Makes
beforehand.
sense.
Yeah. And listen, I'm kind of all for it because it works both ways, guys.
Yeah.
I'm not like you. So, and I just think then it kind of, especially if you're traveling a bit of a long way to see somebody, it, you know, might save you the journey if you're not into it.
Who was it once when I was at your house and you're like, oh God, he wants to he's FaceTiming me.
You know who that was, don't you? Who, again, we cannot mention, but you know.
God, we can't mention him. Yeah.
Well, no, we can't. Do you know what? We'll tell the story. So there was another guy I was chatting to. And Laura was at my house. Actually, this was in my apartment. This was ages ago, wasn't it? And he'd been sort of messaging a bit. And listen, there were some red flags here from the very start.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, some red flags kicking off left, right, and centre. You know, we were having a drink.
Two puns in there and you didn't even bloody realise it. Two.
Oh my God, if anyone is switched on enough, you might be able to guess who that person is from the pun I've just given accidentally. I didn't even realise I was doing that.
Anyway, carry on.
And he started FaceTiming me. And you can't just FaceTime me if I don't know you unexpectedly, okay? I could be doing anything.
Yeah.
Do not FaceTime me when you haven't arranged to FaceTime me.
I would never do that to anyone. I do it to you. I definitely just FaceTime you, and no one else. If anyone FaceTime me, I'm like...
Well, we both literally just stared at him. We were like, what's he doing? Why is he FaceTime me? And obviously didn't answer. Anyway, we're going off on a tangent.
Let's go back to No Name.
Guy. No Name. So we'd FaceTime before. And listen, we got on quite well on the FaceTime. He seemed to have his life in order, seemed a nice guy. But he was travelling a longish way, a bit of a distance, let's say, for the date we'd arranged, right? So went on the date. Enjoyed the day. I wouldn't say that I was like, yes, but I was like, this guy seems okay. And what I seem to have been doing recently is kind of like going, give him a chance, Becky. Give him a go. See what happens. So I kind of thought this in my head. Anyway, we were out having dinner somewhere, right? And some friends of mine were also in there having dinner. I didn't realise that they would be there. And they obviously didn't realise I would be there. They obviously clocked that I was on a date. And they were like, listen, why don't you come over and like see us for some drinks afterwards? So I said to No Name, I was like, do you want to, because it might be a bit awkward for him to go over. And he's like, yeah, definitely. Why not? So over we went and had a drink or whatever. Anyway, it got to sort of like later on. I was kind of done by this point. I'll be honest. I was like, listen, I'm going to go. He'd been getting on quite well with the mates and decided that actually he would quite like to stay for a couple of extra drinks.
Which is weird in the first instance.
It's slightly odd.
You should literally just be like, okay, cool. Yeah, no, I'll go and check into the hotel.
I'm going to stay with your friends.
It's just a weird thing to do, I think.
The friends, by the way, are a gay couple. Mm-hmm. Some friends of mine, just to put some context in there. So off I toddled, he walked me out and he went... And I went home and obviously went to bed, okay? And woke up the next morning. Anyway, it had transpired that No Name had ended up staying the night with my gay couple friends. Okay? I mean, there's not much more to say than that. So, well, no, actually there is a bit more. So No Name calls me on the way.
Oh, there's more.
No Name calls me and he's like, well, yeah, I ended up having a bit of a big night actually, and staying with your friends. So I was quite quiet on the phone because I was kind of like, this just doesn't sit right with me. All sorts of questions were going through my head at this point. As in, well, what were you all up to in their place till that time in the morning? Why did you decide to stay?
Why would you do that?
Yeah. What was going on?
Yeah.
Like, just,
What tempted you to stay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite an unusual thing, isn't it? So I was quite honest with No Name and I said, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. This is quite an odd situation. I find it a little bit odd that you just stayed with some people you don't really know and it just doesn't sit right with me. He was like, right, as in doesn't sit right with you, don't want to see me again. And I was processing it at this point. So I was kind of like, listen, just let me have a think and I'll come back to you. Anyway, later on had a think. I thought, nah, this is not for me.
Quick phone call with me. I was like, no.
It's a hard no. So I did text him a very nice message later and I was like, listen, you seem a very nice guy, but this is not where I'm at in my life, really. I don't want to be this. So questions were unanswered. So, I mean, did he do anything with my friends? That was the first overriding thought, because
it's just very, I mean, even if they were not a gay couple, right?
Yeah.
It would still be odd to go out on a date with someone, meet some friends, your date go home, but you go, I'm going to stay out and go and stay at their house.
It would be really odd.
I just find that really odd.
Yeah.
It's very strange behaviour.
It's very strange behaviour.
Yeah. Will we ever find out the answers to these questions?
No.
Don't think we will we?
No. No. Well, no, I'll be honest. I've had a bit of a falling out with the friend.
Well, you would.
Over it. Because there were some other, I won't go into all of that, but
yeah.
So no. So obviously I've pied the guy off.
Did he tell them other stuff that he hadn't told you as well?
Yes.
That's very odd.
Yeah, it was a very odd situation that made me very uncomfortable, I'll be honest. So
No Name is no more.
No
In fact,
Name
we should call him no more.
Yeah, no, he is no more. I mean, listen, he was a flash in the pan, that one.
Oh, yeah.
But it's quite a good story, isn't it, really? So, yeah, that was that. More to come, though, guys.
Oh.
Not on No Name, but more to come,
Name's,
just generally speaking.
No Name's gone. He's goner.
No more.
He is. No Name, no more.
He was a no-starter, non-starter.
Right. Enjoy your bank holiday weekend.